Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello good people, I'm Nur Adila Zahra, and in this video I'm gonna make a review of a movie that I just watched recently, and that is Dead Pot Society. All of you guys, have you ever heard or watched this movie before? Maybe some of you ever watched this movie before, but this time I will do a review of this movie, and let's see what I've got from this movie. And yeah, this is my assignments from my lecturer, Mrs. Annie. Hello, Mrs. Annie. Hopefully you're always healthy and happy. Amin. So without further ado, let's get started. Honestly, everyone, I've never do a review before, and yeah, this is my first time of reviewing a movie. So I apologize if I made a mistake, such as when mentioning the name of the characters, the backgrounds, characters, or the moral message that I got from my analyze and other things about this movie. So let's check it out. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First, I'm gonna tell you about this movie. Well, everyone, Dead Pot Society is a 1989 American drama movie written by Tom Schumann and then directed by Peter Weir and starring of Robin Williams. Set in 1995 at the fictional elite conservative Vermont boarding school Welton Academy. So everyone, this movie tells the story of an English teacher at an boys' schools in the 1950s who inspires his students to always make changes in their lives and teaches that to always achieve or strive to get what they want in future. It's like being given the freedom to become whatever they want to be in future. So the teacher also encourage the student to be interested in poetry. Next, I will mention the name of the characters in this movie, but I think I don't really remember the names of the characters in this movie, so I will just tell the names of the main characters of this movie. So everyone, the first one, there is Robin Williams as John Keating, who play the main character in this movie. Of course, he plays as an inspirational teacher. Then there also Robert Sain as Neil Perry. Neil Perry is the second main character after John Keating. So Neil Perry here he played a member of the Dead Pot Society group. There was also Ethan Hawke as Todd Anderson. He is a friend of Neil Perry, who is also a member of Dead Pot Society group. And there is Charlie Knox Steven, and I forget, and so many. I'm sorry, I can't mention one by one because there is seven members of Dead Pot Society group. Yeah, I think I forgot and I can't remember all of them. But what I remember is only the main character in this movie. It's like Mr. Keating or John Keating as the teacher, Neil Perry, Todd, and the 7 members from Dead Pot Society. So everyone, you know, this film tells the story of a group of students who attend of the elite schools in America. It's Walton Academy. This school is a famous and favorite school in this country that is famous for its high discipline and according to their motto of tradition, honor, discipline, and achievement. So this movie start from the story of the social life of 7 members and 7 students. That is Neil, Todd, Knox, Charlie, Richard, and others. I'm sorry, I forgot. The point is the member of that pod society group who feel uncomfortable with the rules at their school. And time to time, everyone, their opinion or point of view about school and science has changed after a new character or a new teacher came to teach them about English literature. So the teacher is John Keating, who is also an alumnus of Welton Academy, and this teacher teaches with different methods so that students are inspired by the learning process. One of which is of course Neil, who has an interest in literature and acting from the first. Did you know, guys, I really into to Mr. Keating or the teacher in this movie, because I don't know, I just love how Mr. Keating has a different teaching method from other teachers. So Mr. Keating, I think he's not crazy about the honor of students. Of course, he doesn't want to be a teacher who is respected or feared by students. And I think Mr. Keating didn't want to be the enemy of the student. In contrast, the other teachers who always teach about high respect, and it seems to be a strict, I mean, it's too strict. But meanwhile, Mr. Keating is very flexibility in teaching. When he's delivering his speech, I mean, Mr. Keating, he will rise on the table. You know, he will rise on the table in the classroom, and he just wanna talk while standing at that table. Mr. Keating also conveyed the lesson in a friendly and soft manner. He also doesn't wanna be called Mr. or Sir, but he wanna called Captain or my Captain. He wants to be a teacher, and then as a friends for his students. He wanna be friends and give freedom to his student, whatever they love or do, whatever the student wanna be and wanna do in future. I think it's because Mr. Keating knows that the students who study here in Welton Academy are under pressure from their parents. Even the students here feel stressed, even depressed because of the pressure and compulsion from their parents, who demand their children have to be perfect in everything, especially in academic, to get into the best and famous college in this country. You know, until one day, Neil Perry and his friend find the old school records, or it's like old school diary, I think, where their English literature teacher, Mr. John Keating, once had a secret club called the Dead Poets Society. It's a club or it's a group whose 7 members love to reading poetry and always have different thoughts or different opinion from others. It has inspired Snail and 7 his friends to form a similar club. Finally, everyone, from time to time, the opinion of Neil and his friends are open, and they're just like open-minded because learning process by Mr. Keating. However, they get a new team, a new group, a new friend, namely Carpe Diem, which in English it means seize the day, which means seize the opportunity to become a new motto in their lives. Especially Todd. You know what? Todd is the shyest teenager among his friends in that Pod Society. I mean, he's very shy, and he's gradually become a brave man to speak his hurts. It because Mr. Keating's mindset that always inspires and support Todd. Finally, everyone, we got a climax here. I mean, the climax in this movie is when some problems start arise and cause serious conflicts. the school finally found out, especially the principal of Welton Academy, that is Mr. Keating, the teacher, thought was considered bad by the school because it different from the principles of the Welton Academy, and this causes various problems. And on the other hand, you know, it's about Neil Perry. You know what, guys? The various problems is arise by one by. It start from Mr. Keating, the school, Welton Academy, and of course the Neil Perry and his parents. So, by the way, Neil, who has been motivated by his teacher, Mr. Keating, the motto is free thinkers, I think. Free thinkers is a jargon or motto that John Keating always used to say. Do what you do and do what you want to do. Says the day. It says the day. All the words that were spoken from Mr. Keating's, the teacher, seems to sink into Neil opinion, Todd, Knox, and Dalton. Neil, who is actually the smartest student in 7 Post Society group, I think Neil Perry has knows that acting is his passion and his dreams besides getting good grade in schools. And then finally, everyone, Neil join and take a part in theatrical drama at school at Welton Academy, because Neil Perry has inspired to become an actor. For Neil Perry to be an actor is a must, because Neil Perry said he can express his emotional, he can express his feelings through on acting. So I think Neil Perry, he really wanna be an actor in future. Neil wanna develop or improve his acting talent, but his parents wanna Neil to become a doctor. So Neil Perry parents want to become a doctor. So this is make Neil Perry depressed, and he became really depressed, and finally Neil Perry committed suicide. Because Neil always under pressure from his parents. Yeah, finally he became really depressed and finally committed suicide, or doing a suicide. It's like as a protest to his parent. And before committing suicide, he gave the message. And the message, Neil Perry says, my parents just plan my life, but my parents, they never asking what I want and what I want to be in future. I think this message became a weapon for his parents to find the causes of Neil's suicides. And then, yeah, you know what, Neil's parents are working together with a school, Welton Academy, to investigate this matter. And what they suspect is the English literature teacher who is known, that is John Keating. Yes, everyone, it's really sad. Finally, Mr. John Keating, the teacher, was expelled from school, and it's really sad, I think, when they were about to say their goodbyes. You know what, everyone? The students, one by one, got or rise on the table in a class and beg to Mr. Keating for not to leave the school, but unfortunately, the principal of Welton Academy still fired Mr. Keating and told him to leave school, Welton Academy. And finally, the student in Welton Academy was very sad. It's like they lose their support system. That is Mr. Keating and Neil. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we all know, guys, only Mr. Keating, the teacher, is the only one who understand the feelings of all of all the students at Walton Academy, and now the student at Walton Academy, they don't have a support system anymore. They lose Neil as a best friend of their post society groups, and of course they lose Mr. Keating, who always support them, but now they don't have a support system anymore. So everyone, that's it. That's all the synopsis of the movie. That is that post society. So we can analyze. I think this movie, it's sad ending. I don't know, but I was thinking this movie, it's sad ending. Yeah, I'm so sad because it's sad ending story. Because we can see in this movie there are conflict between students, parents, teachers, and of course schools. Of course, we all know most parents in this movie, they don't give attention to the talents and interests of their children. In this movie, the parents always say to give the base to their children, by they don't want to understand what their children want. The parents in this movie don't give the freedom. Yes, the parents don't give the freedom to voice and choose for their children's future. I don't know everyone, but in my point of view, this movie contains a moral message and criticize the orthodox opinion or the old-fashioned thoughts of that time. From this story, it can be concluded from this movie that parents cannot force or compulsion their children wishes or aspiration. I mean, we can see in Neil case, is the most appropriate example to describe a person process in forming to identify of each teenager. Even though Neil's attitude can be justified, or I know he's wrong, because we all know every problem there will be a way out or a solution. And yeah, there are many moral messages, of course, in this movie that we can take. The moral message that I just got after watching this movie, that post society, is that it's about teaches parents not to be too authoritarian, to their children. Don't continue to force and compulsion or pressure their children to be perfect as they want. So every parent in this world, it must be able to understand and give freedom to choose to be whatever their child wanna be or wanna do for his future career. And I think it's including teachers. The teachers must also understand about how to teaching students better, educate and guide through humanist approaches, so that the students will feel more comfortable. And it's like the student always think that learning process is mandatory and really fun. Actually, I really love this movie because the role of the teacher shown by Mr. Keating or Robin Williams, in totality, that the teacher doesn't only teach rigidly and less flexible, but also must be able to play a role in finding methods and way to educate students to be more soft, to be more friendly. I think it's like just be a best friend from their students. So that's all my review about that post society. I really recommended this movie to you guys. Please watch that post society, because you can feel the different emotion, you can feel the different feelings, you can also see the teaching methods for a student from a different point of view. I think this is highlight recommendation from me. Please watch the Dead Post Society. So yeah, that's from me. That's my review about Dead Post Society from my point of view. I hope you can enjoy my review. I mean, I do apologize if there are so many mistakes that I made. So, thank you for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.